The first order of business is to get this area tidied up. I'm going to set these beautiful geraniums down. Look at these. Look at the color in these, honey. One more time for the people in the back. I'm going to set these geraniums down because we have a day full of work for us on our hands here. The goal of today, the first goal is to get these containers planted up. So I have 4 concrete containers over here in this area. I want to plant those up. The fountain, the top is planted up, but then in addition to planting up the top, we also need to get the fountain going, because it is no point in having the fountain planted up and, you know, not having the water flowing out the bottom of it. I need the ambiance of the fountain. Next, I gotta address the weeds over here. Can you see them? They're everywhere. This area was sheet mulched, and that is a technique I have been using in my garden spaces for decades. Sheet mulching is not a new technique. It's not new. It's tried and true. But one thing holds true that I've always found with sheet mulching, that it's easy to come in and get rid of the grass. Whew, something almost flew in my ear, y'all. All I heard was a zzz. Yeah, so let me go back to what I was talking about, okay? Bloop. It is easy to come in. Y'all, is something crawling on me? Okay. It's easy to go in and get rid of the grass. But one thing holds true. When you have maple trees above that drops down, you're dealing with invasive weeds. Like, for example, I have violas over here. Now, these violas, they are very, very invasive. See that? So I have been combating these violas. Yes, they have a beautiful purple flower, but in my garden I treat them like weeds, so I'm trying to eradicate these. And all it takes for one to get in your garden and they're going to take over. So I have been on viola patrol, so I'm going to make sure I get those. We'll just start working. Now that we have the weeds pulled up in this area for the most part, we're going to start working on the containers, because I am running out of room and space to house these plants. So I need to get them out. And actually, these plants, my planting scheme, should have already been planted up maybe about a month ago. So I'm running a little bit late because I had planned to transition this. I had brought over my purple and white violas, and things happen, life happens, so we got to move on with the next one. The violas that I was using this for, they've already started to fizzle out. They were looking absolutely gorgeous when we put them out here, but I'm telling you, between the rain, between the wind, between working, between just life in general, I'm falling behind. Drop down in the comment box and let me know, are you running behind in your garden? Let's go get the plants. Here are the plants that we're going to be using in this area. First plant, we have a Super Petunia Royal Velvet. It's full sun to part sun. It is a petunia, but the Super Petunia is a hybrid form. The habit is going to be mounting and trailing. Planting to hard frost is when it's going to bloom, and it grows short, 6 to 12. The spacing is minimum, and then it's an annual except for zones 10A and 11B, and it's hardy down to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. You want to fertilize these on a regular basis. Normal watering. The light requirements are full to part sun. Deadheading is not necessary. The use is containers and landscape. And again, we have that easy care. So if you're looking for a plant that is a beginner friendly plant, any of your petunias, your super petunias are going to be great for that. Next, over here, we have a lemon coral sedum. It goes 3 to 10. Then we have a Carolee Petite Pink Gara, full to part sun. And if we look at the stats on this, it grows upright. It blooms in the summertime, 14 to 20. Tell you to water it on a regular basis. It's hardy except for zones 6A to 10B. Water requirements is normal, full to part sun. Deadheading is not necessary. Heat tolerant, continuous blooms, or a rebloomer. And uses is containers and landscape, and then it has that easy. So if you are looking for a plant that is easy for you to care for in your garden, Gara is going to be an easy one for you. So we'll pop that back in here. Lemon coral sedum, because we did not go over the stats on that. Okay. So the habit form is mounding and trailing. It's grown for its foliage. It has a short height of 3 to 10. It's an annual except for 7A to 11B. Normal watering, full to part sun. And then again, it's saying that easy care. You can use it in containers or in the landscape. So we'll put that back. I have here my slow release fertilizer, but I also have some starter fertilizer. Now, the brand is not important. Get you a starter fertilizer. I'm using what I have on hand. I just so happen to have my Biotone on hand, so that's what we'll be using. And then I also have my slow release fertilizer. So let me show you how we're going to be prepping these containers, because with my containers for every season, I do not go in and I do not change out the soil. Actually, some of my containers, the soil has not been changed out in them in years. And I'm not here to sell you any products. You do what you want to do in your garden. Now, the caveat to that is, if you have an infestation, then yes, replace the soil. And technically, quiet as kept, even if you have an infestation, you can still treat that soil and still go back in, still add amendments, and still use that same soil and eradicate the pest problem that you're having. Trust me, I've been doing this so long, honey. We're going to come in, we're going to get all of these containers ready here. There are 4 containers, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to prep them. Containers were moved from another area. The soil that were in them when we moved them from that area, we brought them back, we put them right back in. We did come in and top up just a little bit in order to have the soil at planting level. But you guys, when I tell you what you see is what you get, what you see is what you get. So let's prep this first one. Let me go ahead and set this down while we prep. We have soil in here. We are going to rough this up a bit. But we're also going to top this off and add more soil. And it shouldn't take much. All right, now this is where we want to be with the soil. Again, we're going to just rough up our soil. First thing we're going to add is our biotone. Next thing we're going to add is our slow release fertilizer that's going to feed this container over 6 months. We're going to mix these in just like that. Going to fill the fountain up. So Let me go turn on the fountain. A lot of times people say, oh, you have too many plants in your containers. Okay, so you see what this one right here looks like. It's room for everything to take off and fill in. We have the beautiful geraniums here, the Gara, our chartreuse color, our purple. Just gorgeous. Sometimes you got to take small steps in order to reach the big step.